Hello Stargazers and welcome to devlog number 3. This is Alphabet and I'm Jimmy and we're creating a astrology app for the Gemini API Developer Competition. So it's been a week since the last devlog and there's been loads of productivity. Basically I'm building this app using lots of Google technologies, using Flutter, using Firebase, using Dart, and of course using Gemini. So I'm going to try and keep this a bit briefer than last time. So the TLDR is that the apps are now submitted. They will be available in the app stores momentarily. So the Android build went up yesterday and the iOS and macOS builds went in this morning. So I'm waiting for those to kind of go through. So when you watch this, they might be available. So check it out. I'm going to put Elfie down. Yep, so the interpretations are now live in the app, which is great. So it's kind of using AI in some kind of cool, interesting ways, which I'll show you in a second. And I've added a cosmic clock, which is like, it was just a little extra, and it's actually turned into one of my favorite features of the app. So without any kind of further waiting, let's go straight in and have a little look. Whoops. Okay. Cool. So when you first open the app, it will actually, it kind of shows something that I can't show you right now because I'm screen recording, but it would basically do this little animation and it would ask me for my location, which I've already set. I'll quickly kind of go through that just to show you. Basically, this is again using those D3 TopoJSON geographic projections that I mentioned last time. And I'm using an ortholinear projection here, which is cool because I can kind of like show the Earth kind of as it looks. And then the other cool thing is that I can basically zoom in on different locations. So this is kind of showing a fixed location, which is currently London, but you can kind of enter different places. And I've just put a load of kind of cities, like big cities around the world in there. But hopefully people will use their actual location. So if you do that, then it kind of spins you onto where I am. Then it brings you to this screen. Again, this would be animated the first time you open it, but yeah, screen recording, it's difficult. If I close the app to reopen it, then it won't be there in the screen recording. So anyway, let's imagine that was nice and beautifully animated. But this is the cosmic clock when you first open the app. So this kind of greets you as soon as you open the app. And it's, yeah, well, it's a clock. So it tells you the time, which you can see with the Roman numerals around the edge. So these Roman numerals, and in fact, all of the glyphs that you see and icons that you see throughout this app are what I've drawn on my tablet. I think I mentioned that last time. I am going to write a little blog post on how to create kind of your own font and go through that process because it's a little bit long-winded, but I think the results are really cool. Gives the app its kind of own little flavor. But this basically shows you that the time right now is 14:50. So you can see there that this is X and a V. It's quite small, I guess, on your YouTube video, so it's quite hard for you to make out. But that shows you that this cusp here is basically X and V is 15, and we're approaching that. So we're actually like 9 minutes and 6 seconds away from hitting that cusp there, and then it will be 15 hours. And it kind of goes around here, and you've got 24 hours, and you've got the one there. You might be asking, why is it orientated like this? This is because this here, the sun, this is telling us the time, but it's also showing us the location of the sun in our ecliptic. So again, you've got the AC here, the ascending. So this is basically where the sun rises. So as it passes over here, it rises in the morning. It's currently up here on the ecliptic for me right now at this location. And so the Roman numerals are orientated according, so they always tell you the correct time. There's something quite cool on that, which is going to be hard for me to show you. Maybe if I try and show you on an Android device in a moment. Oh gosh. That didn't go very well last time I tried it, but I might try it again just to kind of show you something interesting about that. Let's have a look. I think, okay, so in fact, let's just quickly No, I won't. So I'll stay on track and I'll maybe come back to that. So that's cool. It also shows you the moon's position. So the moon's position, again, where the moon rises, and this is where it currently is in my ecliptic right now. So currently the sky is sharing the sun and the moon. So if they were below this line here, then they would be basically subterranean, so kind of on the other side of the planet. It also shows you here the moon phase. So you can see that we recently had a new moon. So there was no moon, and we're kind of currently approaching. Oh god, my moon phase is. I'm gonna say, is that a waxing? I don't know, crescent perhaps. And then we basically get to the first quarter, and then we eventually get to the full moon round here, and then basically it goes back to a new moon. And it also shows us where the MC is here. So you can see that the moon is basically just beyond the midhaven position, which is where this little arrow is pointing. So that's basically the highest point in the ecliptic. So there's quite a lot of information there, and it's kind of presented in a really lovely way. You can, of course, interact with it. So you can kind of pull it down and basically kind of move through time. And you can see here the time up at the top. At any point, I can basically I can just tap on that, and it will basically take me back to where present time is. And you can see here that you probably noticed that it says Scorpio rising. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. Of course, the zodiac signs are here, and you can see basically Scorpio there, and that's where the ascendant is currently. We can see that if we fast forward a little bit, then basically we'll get to Sagittarius is rising. So Scorpio is currently rising. The sun is currently in Cancer, and it looks like the moon is in Leo, and we can see that it's 5 to 3, and the moon's at almost the highest point. The sun's on its way down, but they're both in the visible sky. And then with all this information, and then also applying kind of astrological principles, which are like, what is the current day of the week? Well, it's currently a Wednesday. Oh god, I should know what this is, shouldn't I? Wednesday, planet ruler. Let's have a quick look. So Mercury is the ruler of Wednesday. And we also know that Mercury is basically neutral in terms of sect, and the sect of this chart is currently dilineal because it's a day chart. The sun is above the horizon, and we also know that lots of different things about Scorpio, which is polarity, which speaks kind of is it feminine or masculine in terms of energy. It also, we have kind of the elements, which of the 4 elements is it associated with, and there's lots of different pieces of astrological information that we can then derive from the positions of these various bodies and what our sign is. This is then all fed into Gemini, and basically Gemini creates basically these like pieces of wisdom of the moment, as I'm kind of like referring to them. I'm not actually using the word wisdom as I felt like that would probably it's probably not true. Well, I don't know if you can call generative AI wise. So, but what it's doing with all that information is it's creating as a haiku of the moment. So we're basically getting still waters run deep, secrets whispered, shadows dance, truth will rise with dawn. So, and as we kind of move on, we can see basically, so crimson, I guess it's taking crimson from, I guess that's because the association with Mercury. Burning arrow flies. Okay, so basically, this is now because we're in Sagittarius, so it's taking little kind of inspiration from the fact that Sagittarius is represented by the archer. Burning arrow flies, seeking truth in the daylight, because we're a diurnal chart, and wisdom lights the path. So all of these lovely, and then as you kind of come down now the sun is basically almost setting. We've also moved into Capricorn, so we're Capricorn rising. And it says here, setting sun, moon's gentle arc. So moon's also arcing down, a time to begin. Okay, so basically the sun is setting. So basically, and as we've gone down now, the sun has set, and now the moon is setting. Shadow path beneath the moon. So again, like it's taken lots of different pieces of information and kind of creating haikus that are inspired by that, which I just absolutely love. And the fact that they're kind of like augmented by so many different factors, including like things like astrological principles such as like the day rulers and the elements and the polarity, and there's so many pieces of information there that it's just created just an insane number of haikus. And then also, as well as that, so you can swipe on here. Oops, you can't do that with a mouse. I guess if I had a touchscreen I could. So I can use this. So basically, you've also got, oops, so let's go back to present. So we're on Scorpio rising, weren't we? So basically, that was our haiku. And then over here, we've got, what is the sound of one hand transforming? Okay, interesting. So you'd have to think long and hard to maybe find the inspiration and wisdom in that one. But what is the sound of one hand transforming? Yes, I'm not sure. And I'd have to actually think quite long and hard to find where that associations have come from. And then as well as that, we get affirmations of the moment. So the affirmations of right now are, I embrace transformation and allow myself to be reborn. I navigate the depths of my emotions with courage and clarity. I harness the power of my will to create lasting change. And again, so these are all very much inspired by, so if we come down here, so let's say like the sun has just set, what buried seed sprouts in the darkness? So I guess that's referencing the sun has just gone down, yet thirst for distant sun. So again, when the sun, when everything's completely out, so our ecliptic is now kind of empty of our luminaries. Without the sun or moon to guide, what hidden light illuminates the path? And then again, so the affirmations, so this is at like approaching 11 p.m. tonight. I embrace the fertile darkness before the dawn. I trust the hidden movements of creation. I find strength and stillness and peace in the unseen. So as you can see, loads of really kind of awesome stuff here, and there are literally hundreds of thousands of these for you to kind of explore and basically for just for them to kind of, every time you open the app, you'll get something new that you've not seen. And I just think that's a cool little touch. It was just a little, this clock is actually inspired by a trip that me and my partner made to Venice back in, I think, 2017. Sorry, excuse me. We visited the St. Mark's clock, and it's this huge astrological clock, and it really kind of inspired me. And then it was just when I kind of started building this app kind of a month or so ago, I kind of, that twigged in the back of my mind. I was like, that would be kind of cool to, I've got all the information now. It would be kind of cool to reproduce that. And then I started reproducing it, and then I realized, actually, I can go beyond that because I'm digital here, so I can add more information into that. And then the idea of these kind of like little inspiring nuggets kind of like came in, and it was just like, I kind of thought, right, okay, I'm in a bit of a rush here to kind of get this delivered in time for the competition closing time, but I'm going to take a tangent because I feel like it's going to be worth it. And actually, that's kind of turned into one of my favorite parts of the whole app. So I absolutely love that. So yeah, and it works. Let me see. Can I actually show you this on here? Let's have a look. Okay, so let me switch back onto this. Okay, so if I basically just take, this is the web version. Oh my gosh. Sorry, hang on. Let me see. Okay, so here we are. So basically the thing that I was trying to demonstrate, let me figure out where I can actually see it. So the thing I was trying to demonstrate is, as you're actually scrolling through, there's some kind of really cool, interesting things that happen with those Roman numerals as you basically scroll through time. You can see, if you watch the Roman numerals, see how they like spin. Sorry, let me try and get that censored. See how they actually kind of like spin. So as I'm kind of like going here anti-clockwise, I'm going backwards through time. But you can see, watch the Roman numerals, they start changing direction along with that midhaven point, which is kind of interesting to see that, like, basically, that I'm moving kind of linearly through time backwards, yet the sun's position in relation to time rocks backwards and forwards twice a day. And I guess that's to do with kind of the tilt of the earth or something. Like, it's kind of, there's an interesting thing there that I don't fully understand. But yeah, I thought that's cool. Okay, so what's else is on the screen? So I've shown you the location stuff. So the charts, basically, this is where you're going to have all of your saved charts. So you'll be able to set up your charts. You'll create yourself, maybe create your partner, your kids, your nephews, your nieces, your parents, whatever you like, siblings, and they'll all be saved in here. But I've been racing to kind of get this. This app has been purpose built for this competition. It started off as like a little bit of a fun project, and I've kind of gone down a bit of a rabbit hole. And a month later, I've kind of got quite a big app now. And this is one thing that I've had to kind of like basically just like put like a IOU a feature. It's basically it's this will be here next time. And basically it requires about a day's work. Adding accounts so you can actually save your charts into the cloud is an easy task, but it's just quite a long task. You've got to do quite a lot of stuff. You've got to do registration, you've got to do authentication, logging in, logging out. You've got to deal with GDPR, people wanting to remove their accounts. You then got to deal with terms of service. Your privacy policy needs to have like more information in it. There's just a lot there, and it's not interesting work. It's kind of laborious, lots of boilerplate work. But I just figured that that can come next. I think the interesting stuff is actually kind of all of the astrology kind of things and the Gemini kind of things. So that's what I've kind of focused on. Up here, you've kind of got a few options. So basically, this also tells you a little bit about this. Like I'm calling this like the early access preview, which kind of hopefully is my disclaimer that not everything is entirely finished. And there's so much more I want to do to this, but I've just kind of run out of time. So you've got access to you can access the live Cosmos here. You can also kind of configure this chart as you want it, get it into a position. Then you can always just like kind of double tap to kind of open that, or you can basically just open it here. So this is, as you can see, the chart looks very different from last time. I've tried to simplify it a bit. I've got rid of all that surrounding circular text, and I've kind of got rid of the bright colors, and I've tried to make this just feel a little bit more aesthetically subtle, like just not quite as brash as the last one. I need to do the layout for these, where basically you can see that different planets are sitting on top of each other. So if I just kind of just move, you can kind of see as they'll start separating. Again, you should be able to do this with your finger, but as I'm using the cursor on the Mac build, it's easier just to use this. But you can see that planets are basically sitting on top, which makes it really difficult to read those degrees. So that's slightly problematic. It just needs a few hours. I just need to do some layout code to make sure that planets can't sit on top of each other. That's what the idea of these little pins are. Anyway, I won't go too much into that. The charts have been redesigned. All the interpretations are now there for the planets and for all the different aspects. So these are probably going to change a little bit in the future, but you can see here with the planet ones, it's given you the themes, so emotional depth, transformation. In fact, sorry, let me move back to present day. I've moved back to kind of the live chart here, so it's got the little play symbol. Okay, so we've still got emotional depth, transformation, intimacy. Then you can basically click onto these, and this is kind of where it gives you kind of the interpretation in a bit more detail. So again, this is like another view of the chart. Again, this is like a little simplified one that I created just for this. And then you get a little bit of an overview. So sun in the chart in the sign of Cancer, and as a resident of your 8th house, the house of transformation. See, that's why when we were seeing the haiku, it was talking about transformation. And I was kind of wondering, like, what's transformation? So it's because the sun is sat in the 8th house. So it makes sense. So basically here we've got the kind of, a detailed interpretation. The sun's placement in Cancer within the 8th place of your chart suggests a deep well of emotions residing within you. You are likely someone to experience life intensely, feeling both the highs and lows with great sensitivity. This placement speaks of a journey of self-discovery where you are called to confront your shadow self and embrace the transformative power of vulnerability. So basically there's a lot here. So on average, it's 4 paragraphs for every interpretation. And there are tens and tens of thousands of interpretations. So a lot of content to discover here. And that's not even mentioning the keywords, all of the titles, and oh my God, the aspects. So I've had to ditch the little articles that I was having at the bottom here that were explaining all of the kind of astrological principles. They will come, but again, that's going to kind of be another IOU. I kind of ran out of time and had to basically make everything there work. So basically things that didn't work or, were just a few hours away, have basically just been commented out for now, and I'll kind of go back and hopefully get them live before the end of the competition on the 12th, but we'll see. So yeah, you've got your points of significance, you've got your nodes, you've got your asteroids, and you've got your houses. You've also, so you've got your chart, you've got your shuttling as before. So let's shuttle on a month and see what that looks like. Pretty cool. You can basically long press to configure the shuttling. So a year, do that. So again, we're well and truly in the future now. The aspectarian, this shows you all your different aspects, and it's prioritizing, the intense ones at the top. It shows you kind of what's applying and what's separating. And it shows you basically the fastest planet on the left here. This is Saturn on Neptune. And you can see Saturn in conjunction with Neptune. Saturn is dominating Neptune. This is taking place in Pisces in your second house, the house of possessions. And it says basically grounded spirit, intuition, grounding, manifestation, sensitivity, and balance. I'm going to be adding a lot more. Oh, that's a little short one here. I'm going to be adding a lot more information into these. I'm going to kind of make it a lot more clear as to what all of the information that has generated the interpretation is based on. All of those astrological kind of like facts and pieces of information that I was kind of discussing with the cosmic clock. There's kind of imagine that, and then a whole lot more for all of these planets and aspects. So this will be fleshed out a lot more, but again, there's just so much information here that's been generated by Gemini, and I've put my kind of details in, and I feel like I can relate to a lot of what it's actually given me, which is great, because it's kind of I don't know, like the jury is still out on how much I kind of believe in kind of all of this stuff, but this is kind of just a great way for me to explore it, and right now I am kind of feeling like when I've got the settings dialed into to the ones that I like, which is kind of currently sidereal astrology using whole sign houses. So I can just basically show you. You can change all of the settings here to your liking. There's going to be a lot more here, so you're going to be able to set up kind of like settings configurations and like orbs configurations and things. But right now it lets you set the zodiac, the house system, and then basically your sidereal kind of correction here. But this is kind of what I tend to kind of go with at the moment, which is kind of has its roots in ancient astrology, like Hellenistic astrology, using kind of whole sign. I like to have it like sidereal because I just don't like the idea of the tropical zodiac. It just doesn't sit well with me at all. Like I feel like this stuff should be based on the stars, not on basically the seasons, but I'm not even sure if you can fully describe it as that. So you've got your cosmic snapshots here. So I do want to add the ortholinear projection that we saw before. And you've got your timing system. So again, you've seen all this, but I'll very quickly show it again. You can set specific dates and times, your birth dates and times and whatnot, and it will take you back, and you can change your observation point. This will be much better. It'll be kind of similar to that location system that we saw basically back on the cosmic clock screen, where you'll be able to kind of like search for locations and stuff. But right now, you can just enter your geographic longitude and latitude. Where's my keyboard there? So go there, and we can see there that basically it's just animated as there. It looks like we've gone kind of to the coast of Africa, and that's just changed all of these. Let's go to current moment, and we can see that right now. Okay, so literally the moon is almost overhead, and you can see it's just literally there. So it's literally overhead there. So you can see the MC with the moon pointing up there, and you can see it literally smack bang on us. But if we just go to kind of present day, it's basically, so it's just basically past overhead. And it's daytime with the sun kind of approaching the horizon there. And you can see that basically the whole sign houses has got the DC and the AC kind of like moving as kind of floating bodies. That's kind of how whole sign houses work. But yeah, so that's kind of it. I've shown you I've shown you kind of like the app so far. It's now been submitted to the app stores. It's kind of a waiting game. It could be any moment. The Android app has been in review since about 11 p.m. last night, so it could be any moment that could basically go live. I'm just going to check live on camera now. Let's see. Has it been accepted? Nope, still in review. Still in review. Okay, so yeah, so basically, and the iOS app again. I'm hoping it will be some point before kind of Friday, but we'll see. It might get pushed back. Potentially might get pushed back. Apple don't like things to be kind of incomplete, and the fact that this says that something's coming soon, they might take issue with that. But regardless, the wheels are in motion. The next thing I need to do now is create a video, which is basically to accompany the submission of the app. So I've got kind of a couple of cool ideas of what I want to do with that. So I think I'm going to spend the next hour or two trying to create that and see what happens. Then I need to kind of bundle up the source code, fill out the form, and actually submit it to Apple. But I'll have to wait till the apps are available in the app stores until submit it to Google. So yeah, I'm at the mercy of the Google Play team and the Apple App Store team. Once they've kind of approved it, then I can submit my competition entry to Google. And yeah, so cool. Thanks very much. I guess I'll do one last devlog video once this has all happened and I've got my video ready. And in fact, yeah, I'll do that, and I can kind of like show you the video once it's made. So I will do devlog 4 hopefully in the next few days, because I'm away on holiday next week, so I need to kind of get this all wrapped up. And I also have some pressing other work with the work that's actually paying my bills. So yeah, cool. Anyway, thank you very much. I will see you in the next one. Bye.